Okay, so I was just thinking sex and gender are two different things, right? Sex is something factual, male or female. Gender is something that changes with time. It's more flexible over time. What's the word? It's more malleable. So things like women didn't wear pants, it was considered too masculine, and at least in this country, I don't know about other places, and women didn't wear pants, or if they did, it was considered very masculine, and that changed over time. So I think, and they always can, it's really interesting how they can trace back like how or why things change. And if I remember correctly, and I don't really research things, so mainly I just want to talk and discuss things in a very respectful way, but I'm not researching stuff. I think when probably World War I or II, they needed women to work in like factories and stuff like that, and that's why women started wearing pants, because it was just more practical. So their skirts and dresses and stuff, they just had to be more mobile. It wouldn't get caught in machinery, and then women wanted to keep it. That's my understanding. I could be completely wrong, but these things change over time. And so we stopped using the word sex because it can refer to biological sex, but also the act of sex. So I think people started using the word gender because it sounded less sexual. It was kind of a softer, gentler word than the word sex. But gender and sex are not the same thing. So really, it's not whether men who are transgender are women. Women and men are refer to adult human beings, right? So an adult female, an adult human female, or an adult human male. Those are factual things. What it refers to is, do you express yourself femininely or masculinely? So I think instead of are they men, are they women? But we should be saying the word femme or feminine and masculine. I think that would solve the issue. Because I think that's what the debate is about. It's about the words. And I don't think we're using all of the words correctly, like sex or gender. When people say gender, I think they usually mean biological sex. And so my whole thing is, we separate everybody. Like, I'm not in charge of anything, but I'm just saying we separate everybody by genitalia, because that's basically the way it's always been. Women and men, we separate people by their genitals. And men, I think, who are transgender are wanting to be considered women and get involved like in women's sports and things. And this is why. I think there's an underlying fear because those men are not safe in male spaces. So they're trying to be in women's spaces because it's less dangerous for them. Women might get mad, they might do a lot of things, but I don't think there's literal physical danger the way it is for them in male spaces. So I was thinking, we separate everyone, and then if you're transgender and you are male, you would still compete with men, but how you express yourself, you would still express yourself in a feminine way. I think if they're in male sports, they should be allowed to express themselves femininely. So let's say it's a sprinter, because it's just easier. So you remember FloJo when she used to run and she had her nails, she had it was like 1984. She had the long nails and she would have her hair and her makeup and she would still run like that. So imagine a male sprinter who was transgender and just expressed himself very femininely, and he did that. So I think that would, I don't know if it would solve the problem, but I think that's the issue. That really the issue is people are using the word gender when they really mean biological sex. But we're also, I think also transgender people don't feel safe, particularly a man who's expressing himself very femininely doesn't feel safe in male spaces. And I think that's really the root of the problem. But if you're going to comment, and I'm really open to having a great discussion. I don't want people just being nasty and petty and awful. That's not why I'm posting this. Because I was just thinking, I think that's the issue. I wonder if it's because they're not safe. They don't feel safe in male spaces. But yeah, anyway,